I'm starting it right now.
I already started recording, bro.
I bet. Look at us, man. Oh wait, are we recording?
Wait, hey, is this thing on? All right, y'all. We're back with another NFL mock draft. This year, we've got Mark, Jalen, and X joining us to get through these picks and give our predictions, along with the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton. And I'm 007 Gage Sutton. And we're really excited to get right into it. But before we get into any of that, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like and follow Mark, X, and Jalen on their socials. We're going to link them down below in the descriptions. And, hey, before we get into the draft, how are y'all feeling, man?
Excellent.
Excellent. What? All right, Kellen Moore. Why do we say that?
Hey, man. Y'all don't really see the vision how I'm seeing it, man. We got the youngest coaching staff of all time. Then we got our damn head coach, our quarterback coach, and our damn offensive coordinator, all former quarterbacks. Nigga, whoever is getting drafted by the New Orleans Saints is in great hands. Nigga, like you talking about? We coming back, I ass nigga.
You got any money to spend on free agents or anything?
Nah, because of that.
He said,
actually, I think we got like 20. I think we got like 20 M's still. That's a lot for the Saints. But then that pussy Derek Carr, bro.
Hey, that'll be interesting to see how the Saints address their QB situation. Maybe we'll see it in the first round mock. But Mark X, how y'all feeling, man?
Marcus, go ahead.
A guru always feels good, man. Anytime it's time to talk a little bit of ball, this is where I feel most at home. So, we can talk about whatever. First, you see what I'm wearing. It's no need to even talk about it. We have no holes. We're just drafting for fun. Probably everything best available at this point because what do we really, really need? Maybe get a little offensive guard or something like that. But offensive line is so historically good at this point, last like 3-4 years that I'm not worried about it.
I feel you. Like, whenever your team just has great players, they make great shit happen. And me personally, my team got arguably the greatest quarterback of all time in Patrick Mahomes. So I get this. Like, when your teams don't got this many holes, you don't got to worry about this stuff. So I'm with y'all, man. I just hope y'all teams just have the same type of optimism that we have. Because I know what we playing in January. We playing at home. What's our stadium called? Arrowhead. We playing at Arrowhead all the time.
Hey, if you're new to the show, Ethan was a resident Cowboys fan, and now we just have X alone here defending the Cowboys by himself. And I'm interested to see what you're going to do for the Cowboys in the first round, X.
I wouldn't call it a defense. I'm stuck in a loveless, horrible marriage. I just can't get myself to leave him, even though he's an awful man. He's a very, very bad man, but he makes good money for us. So
he made money for us.
He made money for us. It's crazy. Hey, without any more further ado, guys, we should get right into it. Let's start this draft. E, show us the screen, man. All right. So, with the first overall pick, we've got the Tennessee Titans on the board, which means we'll have our guest, Mr. J. Will, Mr. Kellen Moore himself, making the pick here. Who will the Tennessee Titans be taking in our AWR 2025 mock draft?
Before I make this selection, I just want to say Cameron Ward in another universe, we could have had something beautiful, man.
That's insane.
In another life, we could have had something beautiful, man. But give me Cam Ward from UIW. Fuck Miami, nigga. He from UIW, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not mad at the pick. I think everyone kind of knows now that it's no secret to anyone who watches football that I think Cam Ward is probably going to be the number 1 overall pick. Does anyone have thoughts on him? Maybe feel differently about Cam Ward as a prospect?
I would personally say that Cam Ward is pretty like that, man. He probably should be the first round pick. I do worry that he turns into like a Derek Carr tier quarterback. I think it just depends on how his game is going to translate and if he can kind of speed up, because I don't think all that lackadaisical stuff is going to work in the NFL. But if it did, he could end up being at least a top 7 quarterback in the league. He could be in that tier with like Jay Hurts and all them.
Man, was that a shot?
I mean,
I'm just trying to think of the name he mentioned in top 7.
With Derek Carr, was that a shot? You try to be funny?
I feel like the shoe fit. Like if it, like,
Hey, no, honestly, Mark, I'm on the same page with you. I like Cam Ward, and even though I don't think he's the best player in this draft, I think Tennessee has to take a quarterback, and Cam Ward's the best one available. So I'm not mad at it. Mark, with that being said, you are picking number 2 for the Cleveland Browns, and this one is a little kind of up in the air because I feel like you could go one of 2 guys, but maybe you'll surprise me.
Well, in all honesty, the Cleveland Browns should probably pick a quarterback. They're in a terrible contract with Deshaun Watson. They just signed Joe Flacco back, but I don't really think you want Joe Flacco to be your quarterback for a full season. So they definitely should go with Cleveland Browns, and I think that on the day they're going to be very, very tempted to do that. But at the end of the day, the Cleveland Browns always make bad decisions, so we are going with Abdul Carter. We are going with Abdul Carter.
All right, Abdul Carter for the Cleveland Browns. I love Abdul Carter. I don't know about you guys. I think he's going to be a stud next to Myles Garrett if this is the pick.
I like Abdul Carter too. I think you said it best. The fit next to Myles Garrett, he's not going to see many double teams at all, if any, throughout the season. I'm just wondering, maybe they go a guy like Travis Hunter to pair well with the fact that like Denzel Ward hasn't really been healthy of recently. Greg Newsome hasn't been that healthy. So maybe having more depth at that position could help, as well as giving another wide receiver when you have Jerry Jeudy balling the way that he is. But honestly, I'm not mad at you if they go either pick.
I don't think organizational malpractice is a good. That's how I describe the Browns situation. You just got to pick talent. At this point, Carter or Hunter are your only choices. Just pick the most talented guy and try not to have another season where your fans show up to games with bags on their heads.
Chill.
Okay, so real quick before we move on from the Cleveland Browns and on to the New York Giants, who I will be making the pick for, how do we feel about, realistically, what's the chance that the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders at number 2?
Nah.
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think that would shake things up a lot. I really don't think they will either, but we've seen the Browns do stupider things, like give Deshaun Watson $50 million a year after his history. But you know what? Hey, we'll move on to a team that made a lot of bad decisions in the offseason too. Letting Saquon go, letting Xavier McKinney go to the Packers. The Giants just need talent at this point, and you have to take the best player available. I'm taking Travis Hunter for the New York Giants. And I really don't think I need any more explanation. He's an elite prospect, probably one of the most fun football players we've seen come out of college in years.
No, I don't think there's much to say to what you said. Like, yeah, they probably need a quarterback, but when you look at the fact that they got Jameis this offseason to pair with Russell Wilson, unless they're in a situation where they want to go for a guy like Shedeur to sit behind those two and learn, and that's for sure the quarterback that they want to build their future around, I don't see anything wrong with taking a guy like Travis Hunter, who will probably play wide receiver 2 and play cornerback 1. So that gives him the opportunity to play both sides of the football, which is what he wants. So I'm not mad at that.
All right. Well, next, you'll be picking for the Patriots, and they're in an interesting spot here. And before Ethan makes his pick, all of you guys, if you're in this position in the draft and you're the Patriots, what do? The 3 best players are kind of off the board, or I guess the 2 best players, the ones that they're hoping fall to 4, Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter, I'm sure. But is there a player that you think is someone that is worthy of that number 4 pick and could help New England, or maybe another team trades up?
You got to protect the franchise, man.
Yeah, I think you got to bait someone into trading up at this point because you're at 4. You can get a tackle and Armand Mimbu. You can go Will Campbell. There's a lot of good offensive line play and skill positions. You try to bait someone to come up, especially if Shador's still on the board. I'm trying to get the Saints to give me some.
Man, shit.
See, X, I like your line of thinking because if I'm the New England and Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter aren't there, like 2 of the blue chip prospects that we have in the draft, I focus solely on building around Drake May, if you believe Drake May is that guy. And I think that starts with rebuilding that offensive line that stinks because this is a very deep wide receiver class and running back class, as we're going to get to later. And I feel like you can always get wide receiver. You can always get a running back. Offensive linemen are really hard to build around, especially when you're starting from scratch. So as far as my pick, I'm going Will Campbell from LSU. I think it's kind of going to be a lock that New England's going to go O-line, and I think he's the best O-line prospect.
E, do you not have any worries about his little ass arms? His
T-Rex arms?
His T-Rex arms? Nah, I really don't. I feel like his aggressiveness and his balance especially will help him with that. Yeah, he's definitely going to struggle with a lot of those edge rushers that do have obviously longer arms than him and are able to do different kind of stunts. But I mean, I think he'll be all right. And I don't think the expectation for alignment are that high where like he's gonna have to worry about being a high pressure and a high value pick. So
Loki, I think he could also slide to guard too.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, he's playing guard.
I like Membu a lot too. I wouldn't be surprised if New England's picked Membu over Will Campbell just because Membu's got great size, and I think he's more of like what you want out of your prototypical tackle. But Will Campbell's a great pick too. I think he's an excellent prospect. All right. Next, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Jalen, you're making the pick here for the Jags. Who are we thinking?
If it was me in the war room, I'm going Ashton Genty, but I know they're gonna go Mason Graham, but I go Genty, but Mason Graham, man, go ahead and
Mason Graham.
I mean, it's our mock draft. It's our mock draft, yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it realistic.
Shit, you about to see
why do you have so much trepidation about Mason Graham?
Yeah, I was gonna say
national champion Mason Graham.
We have our local Michigan fan here in Marcus.
Why are you?
What do you have to say about? What do you have to say about Mason Graham? Do you have anything to tell Jalen about this?
Mason Graham is a dog. Mason Graham
he's crazy as fuck.
Hey, at minimum, Mason Graham is like Quinnen Williams. And then at maximum, at minimum, he's Christian Wilkins. At maximum, he's Quinnen Williams. His ceiling might not be that high, but just his plethora of moves and his footwork and his nimbleness and agility at that position for his size.
Yeah, he's going to be good as hell.
Bro, at least top 5. Like, he's going to be definitely worth that pick. He might – I'll put money on Mason Graham ending up, like, rookie of the year. Like, I think he's a very
good here he go gas and stuff. Here he go gas.
Rookie of the year is wild.
Nah, he going to be real good.
I like the pick. I like the pick considering the fact that, like, Jacksonville really needs interior D-line help. Like they really do. Don't get me wrong. Walker on the outside has been a solid high draft pick. Was he probably worth the number 1 overall pick? Probably not, but he's not a bad player by any means. And picking a guy like Ashton Genty or even one of the wide receivers on the board like Tet or Matthew Golden wouldn't be a bad option considering those guys would probably play number 2 to Brian Thomas and would add something to that offense, especially when you consider Jacksonville's probably shopping Travis Etienne. But I just feel like this is where you kind of have to go probably need maybe in the explosive pick. But if you believe that Mason Graham is better than those guys minus Genty, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
I mean, if you take Cam Ward being a quarterback out of the top 5, Mason Graham is a top 3 prospect, just based on talent alone. He's a run stopper. At Michigan, he hogged the middle of the field. You weren't going anywhere up the middle, not at all. Those 3 spots were done. So yeah, good guy.
Hey, he has really impressive tape, and I think he'd be a great fit in Jacksonville or really anywhere he goes. But next up, we've got the Las Vegas Raiders. And Marcus, you're making the pick here for the Raiders. Hey, you really have your pick of the litter here because I think there are a lot of good players on the board, and the Raiders are very erratic, I think is the best word to say when talking about their draft history. So how you feeling, Mark?
And I think that is a perfect segue, man, because the same way I feel about the Cleveland Browns just making continuous bad decision moves, as much as the Raiders should just go get Aston Genty, surefire 1,000 yard a season rusher. I really feel like they're going to shock the world and go get Shador, man. I think they're still going to try to put Shador behind Geno. I don't think Deion's going to be happy about it, but that feels like a Raiders pick.
You don't think he'd be happy?
Do you think Deion wanted his son to be a backup?
I mean, it would be for a year.
No, they signed what's his name, Geno, to a 3-year extension.
He's on a 3.
But I thought I seen some where like
they can get out of it after.
Yeah, like one of them is like boy years or
maybe
they can get out of it after a year. That's why I've been seeing the rumors about it, man, and I really believe it. And the Raiders always do dumb stuff like this, and they want this sort of attention.
Tom Brady is
Tom Brady. Thank you. That's what I'm saying, man. I really think that I don't think that Shador off to the Raiders is off the table.
Hey, I'm not mad at it, Marcus. Low-key, like you said, the Raiders have a bad history of making picks like this, and even though all of us agree, I think that you'd be definitely reaching at 6 for Shador. It's not. Let's not put it past the Raiders.
Steve, whenever you were leading up to it, Mark, there's another name that I thought you were going to pick, which I honestly agreed with picking, and it's not Genty. Listen, I think Genty's amazing. You guys don't know what I would do to have Genty on my favorite team. Trust me, you don't. But at the same time, I don't think they should pick Genty. I don't think they should because they don't have nobody on that offense, minus the tight end. Sorry, the name is slipping me right now. Like
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers, pardon me. Like you already have a weapon, but people don't realize they don't have anybody in that secondary. They just let go of Jones. They don't have any safeties. They don't have any DBs. That defense stinks outside of Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins. Like they don't have anybody in that back end. I think there's a good possibility they go corner, either Jade Barron or Will Johnson. I think there's a good chance.
I think Jade gonna shoot up. I think he gonna go a lot earlier than like where people got him going. Like he may sneak into the top 10.
I just think like, can you take a risk on a guy like Genty or Shador when you don't have anybody on that back end? Is how I'm feeling. But I mean, I'm not mad at it. Shador probably is gonna have to wait, and that would definitely, in my opinion, be a bad business decision by them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Raiders do with that number 6 overall pick, and if Shador is the pick. But next, we've got the New York Jets on the clock, and that means that X, you are making the pick here for the Jets. Like I said, still got a lot of really good players on the board. Where do you think the Jets are leaning on this one, X?
Honestly, man, when it comes to the Jets, I would steal Marcus's they make horrible decisions, organizational malpractice. They're going to do something in this draft that we're all going to look back and go, what? But I don't think this is going to be one of those bad decisions. I think you either go, I really like Tyler Warren as a player. That's where I would be leaning. But honestly, I'm going to go with Armand Mimbu at 7. Like I said, he's a mauler of a left tackle. He's a guy that's physical. He got a little bit of nastiness to him if you watch him play. Bro is going to bury you into the dirt and keep you there. That's a player you can't let slip this far, especially if you have a franchise that just needs a cornerstone at left tackle. And protect Justin Fields, and then if Justin Fields don't work out, you already have a left tackle, go get a QB next year. Go get Arch in 2 years.
Hey, I think that's a great pick, X. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely would have picked Armand Mimbu there if I'm the Jets too.
Yeah, no, that's a 10 out of 10 pick, X. That's 10 out of 10.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't have anything else to say about the Jets there, we can move on to the Carolina Panthers, who have a very interesting pick here at number 8. And in our mock draft, Ashton Genty is still on the board. Ethan, who are the Panthers going to take here?
I think the Panthers are in a kind of a lose-lose situation because they have so many holes on that offense, or just on that team in general. I guess pretty much all these teams in the top 10 do, but I think Panthers more than anybody. And don't get me wrong, they saw a lot of promise with Bryce Young to start the year or the second half of the year, but I don't really love a lot of the weapons that they have. I'm not really the biggest fan of Xavier Legit, which makes me lean towards a guy like Tedero McMillan or Matthew Golden, who I think are better than him. But that defense is terrible, man. And it got even worse when they let go of Brian Burns. So if I'm them, I want to go edge rusher. And out of edge rusher or even just linebacker in general, I'm going to go with this is tough because I'm debating between Jihad Campbell and this other guy, but I think I'm going to go with Jalen Walker.
All right, Jalen Walker. Let's see.
I just think he's better off the edge, and he has a lot of off-ball potential too.
I really like that pick. I really do. I think Jalen Walker's is a stud, and he has so much versatility. And Carolina can do whatever they want with him. Rush him off the edge, play some zone coverage as a middle line or like as a outside linebacker. I like the pick a lot.
I mean, the first thing I think of when you say Jalen Walker is speed off the ball, right? Like he just comes out of off that edge or wherever he's playing on that field like a rocket. It's hard to block him. A lot of bend to him, a lot of athleticism to him. Just develop a little bit more of those hand skills. He already has a little bit. That's a dude. You got a dude right there.
Yep. I like that pick. Next, we've got the New Orleans Saints, which means
come on,
Kellen Moore.
Come on, Coach.
You are on the clock for the New Orleans Saints. Where are we going with this one, Jalen?
Now, if the draft failed just like this, I'd be the happiest man on earth. But now what it boils down to, man,
I know it's a lot of options.
Kellen Moore is a Boise State guy, man. You know what I'm saying? You see where I'm leaning. But bruh, I know somebody like Tyler Warren could really open up the offense, but we just re-signed Jawan Johnson. Man, I'm going Genty, man. My nigga Alvin Kamara getting old.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm going Genty. Who I'd be lit as fuck. I'd be lit as fuck.
I would hate that. I don't.
But I mean, it makes sense, man. Look at all the places that Kellen Moore has had success. He had a run game in Dallas. He had a run game in Philly. You gotta get your run game right, man.
Oh
my
man,
stomach hurts.
He's gonna get to run behind Derek Carr. Or no, Derek Carr got hurt. Sorry.
Yes.
Do we not feel like Genty's a little bit overrated?
No.
Whoa.
Mark.
Whoa.
Hold on, Mark. You think Genty's overrated?
I do. Genty's cold, but is he like top 10 cold as a running back?
Well,
no. I don't think he's better than Jahmyr Gibbs even coming out. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a better prospect coming out. And I think Bijan was a better prospect coming out.
Ooh.
Both of them were, in my opinion. I don't think Genty played anybody. And he played in a system that was catered to him. And I'm not saying that he didn't hoop, and I'm not saying that he's not a first-round talent. But I think it's arguable to say that he's the best running back prospect in this draft. Like, I'm looking at Amarion Hampton, and I'm like, you might be a better NFL running back than Genty. And in fact, if that happens, I'm not surprised at all. I think Genty could be a little bit overrated. Is he gonna get 1,000 yards in a season a few times? Like, yes, for sure. Like, I do think he'll be a good, like I said, he's a first-round talent. But top 10, is he Jahmyr Gibbs? Is he Bijan Robinson? Is he Saquon Barkley? No.
I think we have not seen the best of Genty. Like, I think he is going to be in an NFL system. Yeah, like, man, we ain't even really seen him his route running. Like, that nigga can run routes, bro. He gonna be good as hell. But I'm not mad at that. Like, going off of what you were saying, like Henderson from Ohio State probably gonna be a better NFL running back than him.
See, I think y'all playing with his name. I think
but I mean, you seen me pick him.
No. No, I know the minute if for in an alternate universe, because hopefully it's not in the one I'm living in. If he ends up being a New Orleans Saint, I already know that jersey. You already had it in the mail.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, but I mean it makes sense, bro.
I like him a lot, man. I think as far as running back prospects I've lived through and I've seen, I can't name 4 better ones than Ashton Genty. I think he's that legit, that cold at what he does, and I think the fact that he was playing at Boise hindered his tape more than anything because he didn't play any
boxes.
Bro, stacked boxes. Like you
Stacked
knew
boxes.
Boise State was only beating you one way. So they was putting 8-9 in the box. Like, okay, we'll leave no safety help over the top. If they receivers win, so be it. We can't let him do that. And he did it against great programs. He did it against Oregon. When Oregon is a top 3-4 team in the country, and they couldn't do nothing with him. And I know Boise didn't stop them, but he still finished with $1 something. Like they still couldn't touch him. And if you go into the NFL where like they're not going to be able to do those stacked boxes against these teams, like even the worst of teams, you're not going to send him to a team like the Raiders or even Chicago later, like coming up the board. You can't stack the box with him. Yeah, you just can't.
No,
I think he's a stud, man.
I'm with you, E, because the one thing that doesn't change about football is if you can run through a motherfucker's face in college, you could do it in the NFL. And that's what Ashton
I was not expecting Gage.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. I was not expecting
that. Gage used the curse word. I swear my soul left my body.
Crazy, right? All right. Well, hey, we've got the Chicago Bears on the clock, which means, Marcus, you are now making the pick at number 10 for the Bears.
As much as I would like to pick, like, what's that dude from Missouri? Brady Cook. Cause screw the Bears.
Hey, I'm with you.
Realistically, I think the Bears are still building around Caleb right now. I think they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that Caleb has a chance to develop and get his confidence going up a little bit. Especially with all the success that Jaden Daniels had, I think that they're definitely looking at Caleb to mimic some of that success, especially if they build around him well, because Jaden did without nobody. So I think the pick is definitely between Tet and the two Kelvin Banks. Between Tet, Kelvin Banks, and the tight end from Penn State. What's his name?
Tyler Warren.
Yeah, Tyler Warren. I don't know why I can think of his name. So because I think they still want a little bit of help in the pass game, but they do want to be able to get some help in the run game as well with some blocking, and even in the pass game with some chipping. I think that they go Tyler Warren with this pick. Even with Tet still on the board, I think they go Tyler Warren just out of pure need.
That's a very Ben Johnson pick.
Yeah,
very Ben Johnson pick.
That's a very Ben
especially
Johnson.
with Genty off the board. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot.
If Genty is there, that's a dream scenario for Chicago. Like,
I know Gage and Mark will be sick if they see Genty in a Bears uniform. I already know.
He would be the second best running back in the division. That's fine.
See all that hate. That boy's gonna.
I'm not mad
man.
at him. I'm a Jameer Gibbs truther too.
Bro,
I'm a Gibbs truther. I'm a Gibbs truther. I just don't think Gibbs can touch Genty. I think Gibbs is nice though.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's some severe like. Nah, you tripping.
I was hold on. We can go back and look at past drafts. I was screaming for Jameer Gibbs a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but you said he not talking. You said you genuinely think you know what Jameer just did last year, right?
No, I think Jameer is great. I think like Jameer is like an A as far as A talent. I just don't think he touched like an S. Like an S is what I would classify Genty. Like S is where I would put guys like Adrian.
He's
Peterson.
not S.
As a prospect.
Yeah, to be an S tier, you got to be every down back, man. Like
he's just not in the system where that's his system. Like
I'm not mad at that. That's the same way that the Saints did with Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. It's just
but AK never had a season over 1,000 rushing yards.
I know. He split carries.
Gibbs still has split carries and he's had over 1,000 rushing yards. Like that's what I'm saying. Like even putting AK in this category right now is kind of crazy.
Did Jameer play has he played every game?
He's definitely missed a few games with injury, but for the most part, he's definitely been relatively
Like
healthy.
Alvin would have had it this year, but then got hurt.
Fair.
I mean, coulda, shoulda, woulda, bro. I don't know.
Nigga, hold it.
Availability is the best ability.
All right, I'm up right, Gage, with the Niners.
No, it's actually me with the Niners because
you got Niners?
you gave up your pick for the Cowboys, and we'll get to that here in a sec. But I think I kind of have who I want for the Niners or who I think is a great fit for them, and I'm going Jahad Campbell from Alabama because even though they have Fred Warner, we know Fred Warner's getting up there in age, and you just got to be ready to add talent to this team, to this defense, who lost so many people. Because they have to pay all of their players now. Brock Purdy's up. They traded Debo in the offseason. There's going to be a lot of change on this team. And for me, it's just picking the best defensive player on the board in Jahad Campbell. He's got a lot of flexibility and positional flexibility, and I think he can do a lot on the field for the Niners, even if he's not used primarily as a middle linebacker in year one.
I think that's a smooth pick, man, especially with Dre Greenlaw going out the door. I think Jahad Campbell's like pretty much a clone copy of what Dre Greenlaw can do. So they'll be able to replace him smooth as right there. I do wonder if you don't think that they will want to go O-line, especially if they're about to invest in Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I definitely could see that happening too. And that's the only thing about Jahad Campbell is he's classified as a linebacker. And I guess in the Niners system,
pass rusher.
Yeah. In the Niners system, he'd probably do a little bit of both of pass rushing and dropping into coverage. But I don't know. I just think he's a stud. And to me, I think San Francisco does a decent job of developing decent offensive linemen. So I think they could take one later in the second round and justify it by saying, we got a fucking stud on defense in the first round. So,
I mean, I agree with you, man. Like Robert Sala's back with them at DC. He's a hell of a weapon to have on your defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even totally forgot about Saleh coming back to the Niners. He's going to have a blast coaching Jahad Campbell. All right. Well, X, you're up on the clock for the Dallas Cowboys at pick 12. And you've got some interesting prospects here. And Ethan, I want to hear not a goddamn word from you for this segment. X,
sorry,
who's your pick?
I mean, if we're going to be honest, if the board falls this way, I'm ecstatic. This is one of the best draft days of my life. The obvious pick is going to be Ted McMillan. If you watch any Cowboy games last year, we couldn't score worth a lick. Not at all. CD was our only weapon. It was abysmal. We want a running back here. It's a deep running back class. Go get one in the second, third round. Right now, you got to get CD some help. Got to get Dak some help, and hope his hamstring don't tear off the bone, so we don't have to watch whatever backup quarter we have play. So go with Tet, man. Go with Tet. I need to see some touchdowns on Sunday.
CX.
No,
if I was a Cowboys fan, hold on. I said
you're not a Cowboys fan.
I said if I was a Cowboys fan, still, I would 100% agree with you on this pick. If Jetty isn't on the board, I think the Cowboys' next obvious hold is wide receiver 2. And I like the pick, man. I'm a Tet over Matthew Golden guy. If I was a Cowboy fan, I'd be happy with that pick.
I mean, hey, I want you to know how hard it is for me to pick Tet because I'm a UT guy. I love Matthew Golden. I also had to fight my urge not to pick Jahdae Barron here, or Walter Nolan. Both those guys are dudes. I watch a lot of SEC football. Those are the guys, man. But I'll go with Tet, I guess.
All right. We got Tet McMillan at number 12 going to the Dallas Cowboys. Next, we've got the Miami Dolphins at number 13. Jalen, you're making the pick for the Dolphins.
See right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Ramsey is on his way out the door. I'm either going Jahdae or Will Johnson. I ought to go Jahdae just to say Buck Marcus. And weak ass. Yeah, man.
You mean the national champs?
Yeah,
former.
Natty.
Former. Hey, you see who the real national champs are?
Yeah,
You see the real ones.
But guess who put belt to their ass this season? Who put belt to your ass?
You're right. You're right. You did do that.
Yeah.
But it's all right. We got to parade at the
So
end of ours.
that really make us the national champions. Because if we
No, it
beat
don't.
y'all and
No, it
y'all
don't.
win a natty,
No, it don't. No, it don't.
Hey, you sound like me, buddy, trying to quantify why Jerry Jones sucks. Well, we beat them, and they won the play.
And that all that.
hey X, I don't sound like you because I've seen my team win. We are not the same.
Hey,
we are not the same.
When did the last time you seen the Steelers win a playoff game?
Bad. Hey, you're a Detroit Lions guy. All right, I'll tell you what. When the Lions win a Super Bowl, we'll have a conversation. That's when we'll talk.
That's fine. Hey,
all right. Hey,
No, they're gonna blow another lead before they get there.
Nah, for
if
real.
we would have went to the Super Bowl that year, we would have put. I'm not gonna get into that.
Y'all lost to the Commanders. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. That's the niggas. They the ones that did the business to y'all.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, though.
You just need an elite quarterback, man.
Voodoo.
You need an
Jalen
elite
Daniels
quarterback.
and his mom are doing voodoo, and they cursed my team, man. I don't know what Jaden Daniels' mom be doing, man, but she put some voodoo on my team, and we found a way to lose. It worked all the way to a freaking NFC national or NFC championship. So
I think the city of Detroit found a way to curse themselves.
I ain't gonna lie, that's probably more likely.
All right, pick number 14.
Yeah, it's Marcus for the Indianapolis Colts, who I think they've got a few needs, but I'm interested to see what direction you take this one, Marcus.
Yeah, I think the Colts are pretty much in purgatory, and I don't think that this draft pick is going to just immediately just fix that. I think that they kind of need a whole lot of things. So with this pick, as much as it saddens me to see him go there, because I was really, really hoping he could slide to the Chargers. I think Colston Loveland.
Hey, I like that pick a lot. Colston Loveland's a dog.
He's a dog. Like he reminds me so much of TJ Hawkinson, but just like in my opinion, he's a smoother route runner. Like I think he's gonna be really, really like that. Like I think if there's anybody who has a chance to replicate what Brock Bowers did this season, I think it's him, man. He's really nice, and he was so underutilized at Michigan that he's gonna be like a sleeper. Like people not even gonna see him coming the first 8 weeks of the season.
I like that. Why do you go him over a guy like Matthew Golden or Emeka Egbuka? Because I'm not really the biggest fan of that Indianapolis Colts receiving core, which makes me like the Loveland pick. But why go him instead of maybe one of those higher end receivers?
First of all, I think Egbuka is super overrated. I don't think he should be a first round pick.
Ooh, that's bold.
You talking about it's Emeka biggest fan you got on the call right here. I love Emeka, man. I love Emeka. I think he starts on most teams and walks in and gets 900, 800 yards. I think he's a high-end wide receiver too. Ohio State don't miss on wide receivers.
He's a great value Jackson Smith, man. And that's not a first-round pick. I don't think he's a first-round pick. They don't miss at receivers, but I don't think that streak can just keep on going, man. Maybe I'm just hating.
I think it is because people are forgetting when him and Marvin Harrison were 1 and 2, they had identically the same stats. Like up until his injury a year or two ago, Emeka was talked in the same breath as him and Jackson Smith. Maybe he might have the top end talent, like the X factor that maybe a Tet, a Golden, or even a Luther Burden has. But I think as a floor, like just his skills that he has right now, as far as release and separation off the line of scrimmage, like he's probably the best in his class.
I think Colston Loveland is a better pass catcher than him. Like off the bat. Catch. Yeah, I mean, just a period. Like I think Colston Loveland run better routes than him. Like I just think that he would be a more effective pass catcher, and they have a glaring need at tight end right now. So
I think the Colts got a glaring need at quarterback. They're gonna have Daniel Jones starting because I promise you right now, Anthony Richardson is not gonna get any better.
You giving up on Anthony Richardson?
Buddy, he didn't play a lot of football at Florida. He was drafted for his physical traits. That brother has no idea how to read safeties or corners. If he don't get a lot smarter real quick, he's gonna be unemployed.
I hate to say it, as much as I love black people and black empowerment, like when they used to talk about like black quarterbacks in the 60s and they be like, they gonna get back there and they not gonna know what to do. They're just gonna throw far, run fast. Like that is Anthony Richardson. Like I hate to say it. Like if there's somebody who watch black quarterbacks and they watch Anthony Richardson and say, this is what I'm talking about. That's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about.
AKA Travis. That boy has no idea. That boy has no idea what to do with that ball.
Well, speaking of black quarterbacks, we've got one on the Atlanta Falcons and Michael Penix, who is.
That was a great segue. I was kind of worried where you were going with that. That was a pretty good segue. Shout out to Gage, man. I was worried where you were going with that segue.
No, the Falcons have Michael Penix. They also have Kirk Cousins on the roster, but there's a lot of rumors flying around that he might get cut or traded before the draft. So we'll keep an eye on that. The Falcons defense is so butt. So I'm thinking they could really use an edge rusher, and I kind of like Mike Green here. So I think I'm going to go Mike Green for the Falcons.
I'm not mad at that. I think defense is what they struggled with a lot last year, especially the interior. So, and I think Mike Green, if he falls, him or Walter Nolan fall this far, I think they'll be happy with either player.
Yeah, I think Nolan's a stud too. I'm surprised he's fallen down the board this much, but all right, next up we've got the Arizona Cardinals. You're making the pick here for the Cardinals.
The good thing about the Cardinals being in this spot is I think all the best players that they could use are on this team, whether it be a guy like Walter Nolan helping in the interior of the defensive line, or it be a guy like Kelvin Banks on the offensive line. But I think they really, really need help on the outside. And I'm going to pick who I believe is a close to a blue chip prospect. If he didn't get hurt last year, he would have been a top 5, top 6 pick. And that's Will Johnson. I think he's an absolute stud. I think he's by far the best secondary prospect in this draft. And I love Jahdae Barron, but I just think winning on the outside, Will Johnson does that tremendously well, as Marcus knows, being a Michigan fan. So Will Johnson will be my pick.
I like
That's
it.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, I like Will Johnson too. He kind of reminds me, not the way he plays, but like his situation kind of reminds me of Stingley, where like Stingley had his amazing sophomore year, and then the junior year was like kind of where he got hurt or didn't really play as much. But everyone was like just so hyped up by his tape the prior year, and it should be the same thing with Will Johnson, where you go back and watch his tape last year from when they won the national championship. This guy was fucking.
He was the best player on that defense.
Yeah, I agree. And Will Johnson will be going to the Cardinals at 16 here in our recording mock draft. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals on the clock. Jalen, you're making the pick here for Joe Burrow and the boys. Who are the Bengals going here?
I think Trey Hendrickson is on the way out the door.
I agree.
But they also could go like interior D lineman. Like I could see Walter Nolan going. I could see Buddy from Oregon, Harmon. Is Mykel Williams still on the board?
Mykel Williams still is on the board. Yep.
Yeah.
They can go him too. Yeah, give me Mykel, man.
Mykel at 17.
Give me Mykel.
Wow. All right. We got Mykel Williams, the edge rusher from Georgia, going at 17. All right. I kind of like the pick because, like you said, Trey Hendrickson might be out the door, and Cleveland or Cincinnati's going to need some help on the defensive end. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, they shouldn't take any offense this
draft
at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. They've got enough weapons with the receivers they just paid a shit ton of money to. So, all right. Next, we've got the Seahawks on the board. And Marcus, you're making the pick here for the Seahawks. What do we like here?
Man, if I'm the Seahawks, and as much as you love dude from Texas, I feel like it's really hard to pass up on Walter Nolan right here, especially if he was to slide this far. Like that's just like
Is that the
that's
pick?
crazy. Yeah. I feel like you can't pass up on Walter Nolan's going to be a hell of a defensive lineman, man, and he has a super high ceiling. I feel like it's impossible for you to just pass up on that guy, even though I think that they're pretty stout in the defensive interior right now. Just adding that guy to that room, you might end up getting a difference maker. Like that could be the Jalen Carter slide of this. Are we recording my draft?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
like that.
I think you're right on that.
Yep, I'm right there with you. Walter Nolan going to the Seahawks at 18. Next, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the clock. And X, you're making the pick here for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
I'm gonna do something a little odd here. Well, they need an edge. I think they just need defensive players. Let's see. Has Mike Green been picked yet? He's already been picked, right?
Yeah, Mike Green was 15th to the Falcons.
Ooh. I mean, here, if we're gonna be real, bro, I'm gonna do something real weird, and I just need everybody to stick with me for it. They've had a lot of trouble keeping who's the wide receiver 2 next to Mike Evans?
I know where you're going.
Chris
Godwin. Yeah. I'm gonna go Matthew Golden.
I like that.
Because hear me out. He's had a lot of injuries the last 2 seasons, season-ending injuries. Get a young guy, get speed, get someone to help Baker, get someone to have fun on that offense, someone to help out Mike Evans. And now you have a wide receiver that you can also, he's super young. So once that wide receiver core starts aging out, because they're about to start aging out, you have a guy right there.
No.
You don't like the Matthew Golden pick?
I'm a little iffy about it too, just because I think Tampa's got enough receiver depth. I mean, Trey Palmer played really good in the time that we saw him last year.
They got another receiver. What's his name?
Ryan Miller.
Is that him?
Yeah.
That was a rookie that they got last year, but that nigga cold.
No. It's Jalen McMillan.
Yeah, him.
Washington.
Yeah.
That
nigga good.
X,
let me justify this.
Justify, because I'm with you a little bit on
let me justify this pick. All right. Because of how the defensive board fell. Because at this point, I feel like 19 is too early for me to pick Shamar Stewart. Right? He's super athletic, but that was my other guy. I wanted Mike Green, who's already picked. You already picked the 2 linebackers I wanted early, and also I wanted Will Johnson, one of those guys, to fall. So your defensive board is basically cleared at this point.
So I'm not mad at the Shamar Stewart idea, especially when Todd Bowles can develop defensive players, and you're gonna have time with him, especially on the edge. I like that pick too, but I'm not mad at Matthew Golden, and it kind of makes the next pick with the Denver Broncos a lot easier for me. I think Denver, plain and simple, needs offensive help because Bo Nix is not the type of quarterback that he's going to be an X factor. Is he solid? Is he a player? For sure. But I think you need to try to give him as many resources as possible on that side of the football because their defense is already loaded. Especially how great they did in free agency this past year, getting Dre Greenlaw, getting the safety Halafunga from the Niners, if I'm not mistaken. Like it's their defense is so good, if not the best defense in the NFL. I think the hole here comes in the form of wide receiver help. I think they should pick who I believe is the second best receiver on the board, and I've talked about him enough today. I like Emeka Egbuka on the opposite side of Courtland Sutton. I like a lot. Expectation low. I think he can, with Bo Nix, he's a security and safety blanket. He reminds me like B-Tech, Jackson Smith and Jigba is not a bad comparison. It's not even a diss. I don't believe it as a diss to him because I hold Jackson Smith like Jason that high. I just think he's so like just NFL ready, and I think he gives a lot to a team that especially needs wide receiver help. And he's not going to have the pressure of going up against cornerback ones every single week. So
he'll play in the slot a lot too, which I think is good in terms of the fit. If I'm the Broncos, I'm really thinking about taking Omarion Hampton here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Sean Payton loves running the piss out of the ball, and Omarion Hampton is like Marcus said earlier, he might be the best back in this draft too. So to get him at 20, I think that would have been crazy. But
yeah, I don't know as far as Sean Payton like drafting philosophy, bro. He is not like a first round receiver type of dude.
Is he a first round running back kind of guy?
Nah, but I think the need at running back is just too glaring. Like
they didn't get rid of Javonte Williams.
Yeah, Bo Nix had to run the ball like he was running the ball too much last season. Like they don't have a damn run game. But I'm not mad at the receiver.
Yeah,
I think now that you guys look, you might have talked me into Marion Hampton. It's too late now. I picked Emeka.
Yeah,
I think y'all might have talked me in because I totally forgot about Marion Hampton picking. Because I'm just in my head, it was like so dead set that he's going to this place that whoever's about to make this pick that I didn't even think like they probably do need to run back. But I'm sticking with it.
I mean, I'm not mad at Emeka.
Hey, yeah, I wouldn't be either. I think they're both really good players. But next, we've got the Steelers on the board, and will they take Marion Hampton? Marcus, you're on the board.
Yay, Marcus!
Yeah, you're picking for your Pittsburgh Steelers, Marcus.
Yeah, Steelers, man. Let's go,
Marcus.
And you know what's so crazy is I feel like people have just been like colorblind or like they be acting like they can't see. You clearly see what I'm wearing, don't you? Don't you clearly see what I'm wearing?
Nah, so bro, like black and yellow.
Yeah, whatever, bro. You need to open your eyes, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, actually.
All right. So for a team that I have no feelings towards, named Pittsburgh Steelers, it's really hard to pass up on a guy like Malachi Starks if he falls this far. Pairing him up with Minka Fitzpatrick would be nasty. Like that would be. I think that would have the potential to be one of the probably the nastiest safety tandem in the NFL, at least top 3, top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I don't know. Okay, yeah. With that being said, I think I got to pair him up. I think the Steelers are going to go defense. I don't think they're going to go quarterback here. I think they've learned their lesson with half athletic white boys. I think I'm praying Kenny Pickett taught them that like you're done with that. Just wait for something better. So
you sure you don't want to draft Jalen Milroe or Will Howard or Jackson Dart? He's been climbing up boards.
Jalen Milroe is Anthony Richardson 2.0.
Oh no.
Will Howard, bro, come on, bro.
National champion Will Howard. Put some respect on his name. National champion Will Howard.
He couldn't hold JJ McCarthy's jockstrap on the nasty sweaty.
We gonna see.
All right.
We gonna
see. Marcus,
so
Steelers are going Malachi.
I think the Steelers go Malachi. If he falls down to 21, I think Malachi has a. Yeah, I mean for sure. Like I mean, in terms of positional need, I could definitely see the case for Hampton. Like I really think, like I said earlier, I think Hampton could be a top guy. But I think the Steelers gonna like to do RB by committees type stuff, anyways. And I think Jalen Warren or whoever that they're gonna re-pick back up. Jalen Warren hasn't got picked up, right? He's still in the free agency.
Let me check if he keeps talking.
I'm pretty sure. Anyway,
yeah, I think he still hasn't signed the tender. Yeah, he still hasn't signed the tender.
So I think Jalen Warren's going to end up coming back. I think that's, and I don't think they're going to want to go quarterback. I could see them going tackle because that's just a very Steelers pick. But having Malachi fall down to 21st, a top 10, like some boards top 5, not top 5, but like top 7, top 8, but at least top 10 talent. I got to take Malachi Starks if he falls down to 21.
All right. I'm not mad at it. All right. Well, we got the Chargers on the clock here at pick 22, and that means X, you're picking here for LA.
See, I'm between 4 players right now. I'm between you go get Luther Burden, you go get Shamar Stewart, you go get Nick Scorton, or you go get Kenneth Grant. And right now, I feel like Kenneth Grant's the best player on the board. You need help on the D line, so it's between him and Shamar Stewart. You know what? Give me Kenneth Grant.
All right.
You need help on that D-line. You let Bosa walk in free agency. You can get an edge later on in the draft. You still got 3 good 4 or 5 good edges left. There's a lot of edge depth here. Go get an interior element. Go get a guy that Harbaugh loves, Kenneth Grant, and get that D-line sturdy, man. Get that defense sturdy.
All right. I like it. Kenneth Grant going 22 to the Chargers, and another Michigan guy going off the board. Marcus, any thoughts on Kenneth Grant before we move on?
Man, I think he's nasty. I think he's just as nasty as Mason Graham. I think that he's going to be a hell of a run stopper and just a plug gapper in the league. He's going to be a hard to move, man. I think regardless, I think his ceiling is high enough that he'll at least have a 9-10 year career in the NFL. He's a guaranteed at least starter on your team. And if he can develop a little bit more, I think he could turn into a legitimate all-pro type caliber player.
All right. I like it. Next, we've got my Green Bay Packers on the board. And guys, I see the name Luther Burden up here, but who are we kidding? The Packers aren't going to draft a receiver in the first round. They never fucking do. So I am going to go with another need. Last year, they took a edge in the first round with Lucas Van Ness. I think I'm going to go Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame here. He's the best corner on the board, I think, at this point. And I really think that if it wasn't for his injury, he would be a lot higher on other people's boards too, because he was a stud at Notre Dame, and he has a lot of the things that you want to see from a outside corner. Really good length, can play press. Yeah, I'm going Benjamin Morrison here for the Packers.
I mean, if we're going to be real, Lucas Van Ness was kind of a letdown this season.
Oh, yeah, huge letdown.
Absolute letdown. I didn't expect much from him coming out of college anyway. But, you kind of give young edges a little bit of a learning curve because they're going against the most athletic linemen on the field, the tackles. So, I mean, I would have gone edge there. But corner, also another need for you also. Either or.
Yeah, I think I also do it just because we're unsure of what's happening with Jair too. No one has any clue if he's going to be playing in Green Bay this season. So just shore up that corner position with a really lengthy and talented guy at pick 23. But next, we've got the rival Minnesota Vikings picking at number 24. And Ethan, you were picking for the Vikings here.
I think with the Vikings, plain and simple, they got to build around JJ McCarthy. The roster doesn't have too many holes. The only reason really why they're picking this low is because Sam Darnold had a dud the last 2-3 games of the season, considering how great he was for that regular season. So I think this puts him in a really good spot just to pick best player available. The problem is I think best player available would probably be a guy like Luther Burden or Amarion Hampton, but I don't feel like any of those really provide a need. I'm not mad at the Hampton pick. I just see them probably going offensive line, if I'm being real. So I'm going to go Josh Simmons.
Ooh.
I like Simmons too. He's a stud. I think he'd be higher on people's boards too if he wasn't hurt, because I think he had I think he fractured his patella or something, had a really bad leg injury. But I think they said he'll be ready to play and be there for spring camp and everything. So I'm not mad at Josh Simmons for the Vikings.
I mean, Kelvin Banks Jr. is my guy. That I think
I'm surprised he's still on the board too. I'm surprised he's still on the board.
I mean, hell, if I'm one of those teams in the second round, I need an O-lineman, I have an early pick, I'm trying to trade back into the late first round to go get Kelvin.
Well, shit. We've got a team who might be looking at Kelvin Banks here at number 25. It's the Houston Texans. And Jalen, you're picking for the Texans here.
Shout out my cousin, man. If I could do it for you, bro, I'd go Luther Bird, man. But
you hate telling people bad news, right?
Yeah, man. I hate telling folks bad news. You got to protect the franchise, bro. But I really do see a world where they go Luther Burden, but I don't know. This receiver class is pretty deep. Yeah, I go Kelvin Banks.
I'm right there with you, Jalen. That offensive line was so bad for Texas. It was so bad. CJ was getting hit too many times throughout the year. So I think it kind of leaves them with no option. It would be malpractice.
And they traded Laramie Tunsil to Washington. So, like, that's a huge...
He was part of the problem, though.
Yeah, but he was your best. He was your best one. That's the thing.
So but they definitely do need to go receiver, like probably with their next pick, because if it's going to be another season of Nico Collins, you living and dying by Nico Collins, bro, you might as well wrap it up. And then Tank gonna be out.
Tank's gonna be out for a minute too. And Stephon Diggs left.
Yeah. I mean, they signed
receivers on the board though.
I love this receiver class.
You got some studs here.
Studs.
Jaden Higgins.
Jaden Higgins is a stud.
That's who calling out. That's who you calling out. That's your.
Jaden Higgins. Hey, Higgins is a dog.
That's the dream fit for my Saints and our receiver profile. Bring me fucking Jaden Higgins. God damn it.
We're gonna get to that in a little bit because when we end the episode or the show, we're gonna have a segment of the show called My Guys, where each of us is gonna pitch one guy that they think an NFL team should go, that they're higher on than a lot of NFL teams. So you guys stay tuned for that. Also, now that we're a little over halfway, make sure to like and subscribe in the comments. We just got 200 subscribers. We're trying to get to 300. Hopefully a lot quicker. So make sure to help us out with that. But Gage, who's next up on the board?
Next, we've got the Los Angeles Rams picking at number 26. And Ethan, you're making the pick here.
Oh, shit. It's me? Well,
yep.
My thing is they really have a great wide receiver tandem in Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Some might say the best in the NFL on paper. So Luther Burden is out of the question. And with, I think, the two clear best tight ends out, Loveland and Warren, I think Rams probably would be really happy if Warren fell to right here. I think they need offensive line help, especially when they don't really know what they're going to be doing with Matthew Stafford. I'm gonna go Gray Zabel. That's gonna be my pick.
All right, the Rams
getting the flashiest pick, man, but it feels a need.
Yeah,
you're not thinking secondary here.
I'm just not. The three guys I liked. Well, I do like Revel a lot out of ECU. I just think maybe this might be a little too late to pick him, but I'm not mad at Revel.
That's true. I mean, I love Trey Amos. I love the safety out of South Carolina, Nick Imawari. I know that's kind of a jump up, but that's a good player, especially you can get in your back and elevate that defense a little bit.
I'm also not mad at this guy, Carson Schwestinger out of UCLA. Ooh. I love him. He's probably going to be one of my guy pick. I think he's a fucking stud, bro. He's a baller. I think he's the best linebacker in this class. That includes the two Georgia boys. I think he's better than both of them, especially in the middle of the park. He's a stud. With any team that gets him in the second round, he's a stud. And they did kind of have a need for stopping the run. As you can tell, the Eagles ripped into shreds every time they played him this past year. But I just think the value pick is able. I like that.
All right. The Rams adding some help on the offensive line and Gray Zabel. Next on the clock is the Baltimore Ravens. I will be picking for the Ravens at 27. I kind of want to phone a friend here and ask you guys, what do y'all think Baltimore needs? They're a really good team.
Quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback. I'm thinking
that was racist.
I'd probably go.
That was so racist. You say quarterback?
Quarterback.
Allegedly.
That was so racist, bro.
You the ones I was talking about earlier. You was the one screaming at the TV. I knew it.
The thing was, it was that game between them and the Bills. I was caught between two worlds, man. I hate on Lamar Jackson, hate on Josh Allen. It was tough for me.
I hate on Josh Allen because he Haley Steinfeld. That's really my beef with him. Like his life's too good. Like you bro, you're so happy. That made me sick to my stomach. I want him to win the Super Bowl now.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad one of us got to, at least get a little bit of something with her. By us, I mean black people.
One of us.
By black people, I mean Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of people for a second might have been talking about you. I was like, nigga, when'd you get on that? Nigga been leaving that story out this whole time.
Hey,
shout
that
out to
makes me
Michael
pretty
B.
clean that you would like halfway believe it.
All right,
Shout
bro.
out to Michael B. Though.
All right. Yeah. This is tough. Okay. You know,
I think
you brought
they
them
don't
up
really have a lot of
early.
holds.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is they really don't.
I
I
mean,
do
you
like
corner.
Siobhan. I was gonna say I do like Siobhan Ravel. I think he's a really good player, and I think the Ravens could use a little more help in the secondary. So why not a corner? They're one of these teams where we're getting towards the end, and they don't have as many holes. But I think Revel's a stud. So taking him at 27 is cool.
I also would love an edge. Like, isn't Shamar Stewart and James Pierce still there?
Pierce, man.
Yeah, Shamar Stewart, James Pierce, Donovan Ezeraku still on the board, Luther Burden. But, of course, we have gotten to pick number 28, which means, Marcus, you are on the clock for your Detroit Lions.
No enthusiasm behind it. It just looks fake. It just looks like a facade.
Yeah, whatever, buddy. Whatever. It's so easy to hate when you from the outside looking in, man. But at the end of the day, like when you get used to this life, why would you get excited about the small things? You know what I'm saying? The only thing that can get me excited is the Super Bowl at this point.
Right.
You know, we're used to winning. We've been in the limelight for long enough, so we're just ready to get back to January, man. We're just waiting for January again in April.
Not getting there with Jared Goff, but hey. Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, Jared Goff is better than Jordan Love, but you don't want to have that conversation. You don't want to have that conversation.
But hey, Jordan Love's a black quarterback.
Yeah, no, fuck all that, bro. But all right, so it's honestly really hard to make this pick because the Lions don't really have that many holes to me. Like, but there is one thing that I was tired of watching all season, and that was Terrion shitty ass, grabby ass Arnold grabbing on every motherfucker the second that they motherfucking so much as fucking flinched at his ass. So we're gonna go with what I believe is an underrated corner prospect in this draft. We're not gonna go with Trey Amos. We're gonna go with a Detroit native, Maxwell Harrison.
Ooh.
I think that they go ahead and grab Maxwell, man. We put him, especially we just lost Carlton, and then we pray. We sit on our hands and pray and put oven mitts on Terrion every fucking day. And we say, if we use your arms or your hands to touch anything or grab anything, we're going to slap the shit out of you. And get that motherfucker off of fucking TikTok. Honestly, Dan Campbell, why are we fucking tolerating this bullshit? This motherfucker gets on TikTok every fucking day, and this nigga sucks, bro. Yes, we, nigga. This are you fucking French? What the hell, nigga? We are done tolerating this shit. We're done tolerating this shit. If I see that motherfucker on TikTok one more time after a game, I'm gonna fucking put him and Juju Smith-Schuster next to each other, and I'm gonna make them motherfucking. No, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna make them niggas do bad things. I'm gonna make them niggas do some bad things, and that shit gonna be foul, bro. I promise you. I'm tired of seeing that, bro. Like genuinely, bro. Like that, bro. They have to stop doing that, bro. He's too ass, bro. There should be if you every time you get a penalty, you gotta delete TikTok off your phone for a month. I think that's a fair deal, bro. I don't want to see that shit. Motherfuckers who's not playing good should not be allowed on the internet, bro. You get way too much money to do that shit. I'm out here struggling. It's a fucking recession. Your ass getting millions of dollars to disappoint me, nigga. What the fuck? Fuck that.
Hey, all right. Well, we found Terrion Arnold's biggest op, and his name is Marcus. Welcome to the Arbor Recording Podcast.
Mark, I didn't know you had that much hate for Terrion Arnold. My fault, bro.
That nigga blew me all, bro. Game after game after game, watching this nigga do this. And then this nigga put his hands up every time. What did I do? Dumbass nigga, you saw what you just grabbed this. Why are you using your hands? Why are you using your
Hey, well, hey, Maxwell Harrison's a good pick for that, Marcus, because I was thinking about taking him for the Packers, but I think he's a very, very good corner in this class too, so not mad at the pick at all. But, all right, Jalen, you are on the clock here for the Commanders at 29.
I think
may I
James
suggest
Pierce.
Marion Hampton is still on the board.
Yeah, him and James Pierce. I
that'd be
just don't see them getting out of the first round. I mean, they got
It made me sick. That would help out.
they got Boy Wonder. I'm trying to think when they got to the Eagles, what did they need, man?
Run game would help.
Brian Robinson, shitty booty ass was.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hampton's a good fit for them.
Hey, I like it too, man.
Hampton and corner, but if you have guys like if all these corner gone, like we had Siobhan Revel, Maxwell Harris.
I mean, if the draft pans out like that, and like Siobhan Revel and Maxwell Harrison are going in the first round, then yeah, I'd probably just.
But if you ask Washington fans, I don't see Hampton ever making it past 29. I think they'd be
no way
ecstatic
Yeah.
if he got.
I still he doesn't make it past Broncos surely. I don't see a world.
Steelers.
Yeah,
I don't think he But Jalen, you made a pretty good point, and you kind of spoiled my pick, which makes this a lot easier because you're absolutely right. Omarion Hampton and James Pierce would not be making it out of the first round. I think James Pierce is the second best pass rusher.
You're jumping the gun a little, because you're picking for your Kansas City Chiefs, correct?
Oh, you're right. My fault, man.
So, yeah, I was gonna say. So, the Buffalo Bills are actually on the clock here, and that means X. You're making your last pick here of the first round. Who we got the Bills taking here?
Oh, this is easy, bro. Give me Luther Burden.
All right, Luther Burden joining Josh Allen.
I like that.
I ain't mad at you.
Like that.
Because hear me out. What was the number one issue with the Bills when they get into these shootout games? Is they haven't drafted. When's the last time they drafted number one? They haven't. Diggs was a purchase from Minnesota. They brought in Amari Cooper, who's 30? Isn't he still free agent?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Keon Coleman, who didn't come on to the second half of last season. Go get yourself Luther Burden, take a chance on developing, put him with Josh Allen. And these guys that play with top 5 quarterbacks, talented wide receivers, his quarterback in Missouri sucked. Throwing the ball behind him, trying to kill my boy. He got him a real quarterback now.
I think it happens like this, but I think the Bills are gonna trade out. I see Jackson Dart going like right here. Like I think the Bills are gonna trade out, and like so somebody they're gonna trade out of this and then take whoever at the top of the second. Because I seen the Bills don't like having that 5th-year option on their players, so they do. That's why they're always trading out of the first at the back. But yeah, I see it going down like this, and for the reasoning that you said, they need weapons.
Hey, Burden's a dog too. Like everybody been kind of falling off a couple players. Him, Pierce dropped more than I thought they were. They came in as top prospects. People been talking about him too much, but Burden's a guy.
I see Burden going right here.
All right. Well, Burden is the pick there at 30, and now Ethan, it is your pseudo false team, Kansas City Chiefs here.
It's not a false team.
30. Hey, well, all right. You know what? I'll let you take the floor, man. Who are the Kansas City Chiefs picking here at 31?
Well, while our quest for 3 was so rudely interrupted by the Philadelphia Eagles, and really what I like to think is a fluke game, because they would never do that shit to us again. I think it's time to realize that Pat's been doing so much. His back is hurting carrying this team, especially with the wide receiving core being what it is. But I just think it might be too early to pick at guys like Jaden Higgins. I think defensively too, they need to re-up, especially on the edge. And that's where I'm going to go with a guy like James Pierce. I think he's the second best pass rusher in this draft. I think he's a stud. His ceiling might not be crazy good, but he definitely adds to the need that the my Kansas City Chiefs have on the defensive line.
I just want to thank you for not allowing him to fall to the fucking Eagles, bro.
Oh, I'm going to be sick.
Jesus Christ. He fell to the Eagles. Wrap it up.
Well, hey.
There's only so many Hellcat drivers the Eagles can tolerate on one defensive line, man, for all of them to go to penitentiary. So there's no way that James Pierce ends up on that team, man.
Hey, if they get James fucking Pierce at 32, they got it.
Hey, I'm gonna say one more thing.
Yeah,
if the Eagles, I'm gonna wait till you pick this. If I there's a guy I don't want the Eagles to pick. I'm hoping you don't do it. I'm gonna say it afterwards.
Well, I am looking at the names here, and I'm like, well, the Eagles are in a pretty fortunate position where, again, don't have a lot of holes on this team. There's still a lot of really good players on the board. And for me, if you're the Eagles, you've got the fifth-year option. You just got to take a guy who's got the most upside. And to me, that's Shamar Stewart. I think he is – hey – I know y'all are going to hate it, but that's exactly what Philly would do in this situation. He is a guy who people were talking about as a top 15 pick in other people's mock drafts. He fell to 32 in our mock draft. I don't think Philly's going to let him slide to the second round if somehow this happens. And at that point, you just have flexibility now because, their pass rush is already awesome last year. They've got a really good just squad in general. So, I think Shamar Stewart's the move here because little risk, high reward, in my opinion. Because if he pans out and becomes the player that a lot of people think he can become, you just got yourself another bona fide pass rusher on an Eagles team that just finds their way into players like this.
They can't keep getting away with this.
That was the pick.
Something.
That was the pick X.
That was the pick because look, I watched a lot of A&M games. I got a buddy that runs on their track team. I would wait till they would have a bad game and I would call him. But Shamar Stewart is one of those guys. His athletic profile is insane. It would, as a Cowboys fan, Dak Prescott's already as beat up as it is. We don't need another monster burying his head into the dirt. That brother's legs hanging on by a thread. His ankle was turned around 2-3 years ago. We don't know what kind of. He might have to stop and just be a dad pretty soon.
Shamar Stewart, yeah, man, on that Eagles D line, either him or James Pierce. Surely that doesn't come to fruition on Thursday. Surely someone puts a stop to this.
Surely they don't end up with Jalen Carter. And,
Jesus Christ.
There's no way that happens, right, guys? There's no way that happens, right? There's no way that happens, right?
No way, man.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we have hit
before we end this mock draft.
Go ahead, E.
No, you're right. Yeah, I was saying we've hit the end of our mock draft here. And right before we let you guys go, we wanted to do a My Guy segment where each one of us recommend a player that we're a lot higher on than the others, that maybe we haven't talked about enough so far in this draft. I'm going to start off with Patrick Sweringer out of UCLA. I think he's an absolute stud. I think what I really like about linebackers, the best ones, is that they're violent, especially upon contact. And Carson Swessinger does that. He plays downhill. I think any team that gets him in the first 2 rounds, he's a stud. And I think he's an automatic starter on a lot of these teams. So that's going to be my guy.
All right. I'm not mad at it, man. Who else would like to go next?
I mean, I'll do it, man. Because look, I got so many guys that I like that no one drafted, and it's kind of bothering me. But I guess we kind of talked about it again. I really like wide receiver out of Utah State, Jalen Royals. I really like that guy. If you turn on this film, he looks real good. If you watch the breakdown of him by Steve Smith, that kid's a hooper, man. That kid has things you can't really teach. Honestly, he would be talked about more if he played at a bigger school. But hey, Utah State, man, he was a dog over there, bro. Even though that whole state is kind of weird. But I digress.
All right.
Yeah, I like him, bro. He's a dog.
Yeah, I do too. I like Royals. I wouldn't be mad if the Packers found a way to get him in the second round. Utah State wide receiver playing with a Utah State quarterback. feel like it could work, right?
It's definitely gonna be a run on receivers from like 33.
In the second round?
Yeah, man. From like 33 to 40, it's gonna be a couple that's gonna go.
I think wide receiver too. I think running back too. There's a lot of really good running backs. Trayvon Henderson, Quinshawn Jenkins, Bashul Tudum, Caleb Johnson. Like that's
a perfect segue into my guy. My prospect here is Cam Scadaboo from Arizona State, who, we're gonna laugh and say like he definitely is not the fastest running back on this board, but what he showed in the playoff, he is an NFL back because not only is he gonna run through contact the way we saw him do it at Arizona State, I think he is a very, very underappreciated route runner out of the backfield. Cam Scadaboo's got quickness more than anything, and he knows how to break off a route and create separation. And we saw it in the playoffs when Arizona State he basically carried them on his back. And I'm not going to say he is going to be a workhorse back in the NFL, but I definitely could see him making an impact for whatever team finds him. I'm thinking he might go early day 2, maybe late day 2.
Yeah. I like Cam, man. That's Peyton Hillis 2.0, and that white boy made Madden. So I think Cam could be a dog.
I mean, you did a good job not saying the usual things that we say about white running backs. He's a glue guy. He's first went in, last guy out.
He's hardworking.
Coaches love him. He's a very technical runner. He's right. That's a way of saying not athletic. He's a technical runner.
He's sneaky athletic.
Yeah, sneaky athletic, has hidden burst.
Yeah, that nigga, he be acting like he trying to hurt somebody. Like this nigga be running to the end zone and look for contact. Like nigga, are you okay, bro? Like, touchdown right there.
You know who reminds me of?
It's right over there. You ain't gotta go all the way over here. Just go straight.
He reminds me of Marion Barber. Y'all remember watching? I was a kid watching Marion Barber run. Yeah. Hey, Marion run through your face and then step on it. Like
I like a Marion Barber comp because Marion Barber was slow as hell too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Trust me, man. He took 20 minutes to score a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Hey, but if you can break the tackles and get there, I think Cam Scadaboo can. So, hey, well, Jay Will, you got one before we close it out?
Jaden Higgins.
Hey, I like it too. I like Jaden Higgins a lot.
He fits what my Saints need, man.
Mark, you don't seem too high on Jaden Higgins, man.
Bro, I think he's so overrated. There's so many wide receivers. Like, I'm taking Kyle Williams. Jack Bate back.
Best from TCU.
If he get in the right system, that's Caucasian Puka. Like, he could really be like that.
Sorry, man. The nigga is 6'4", runs a 4.47, route smooth as butter.
Yeah.
Nigga, like, oh my god, good hands.
He has nothing on my guy.
Who your guy?
George Pickens.
Give me Theo Weiss, man.
Yeah, put on Theo, man. Put on Theo
Weiss. Give me Theo Weiss over all of these chumps. Hey,
and on that note,
this guy. Hey, let me just sell the case, man. Hey, you know what? If you focus on all the things that don't matter, like, just the things that don't matter, you will find out that this, you know what? Forget it. Now it's not. No. I'm saying like if you, I just worded it wrong. But if you actually look at the production, dude went out there and put up 200 yards against SEC teams. I think that he was super underutilized at Mizzou. I think that he runs some of the best routes. He's top 10 route runner coming out this year. And nobody really gonna know that until he really start playing this year. I think he has the potential to be one of those guys who get drafted in the 4th, 5th, 6th round or maybe even goes undrafted. But then we quickly hear about him, and you know who I'm comping him to? Gage, I'm comping him to your guy, Romeo Dobbs. I'm telling you, Theo Weiss equals Romeo Dobbs. He runs crisp routes. He's not necessarily a blazer, but this guy's going to fucking find a way to get open. And then in the NFL, that's what matters. He runs good routes. In the NFL, that's going to translate. In college, too many bubble scheme zones, too much soft shit. NFL, he running that. Theo Weiss, that's my guy.
Shout out Troy Hurt.
You're a great
friend.
friend.
Way better intro than what you started with. I'm not gonna lie to you. You say that. You say that.
You're a great friend, man. You know that.
Hey, shout out to Troy Horton, by the way, too.
I do the same thing for you, boy.
You're a real nigga, bro.
That ain't my friend though. This is an unbiased opinion. Y'all hear it? Go ahead.
Never that.
Go ahead and draft my dog. All right.
We don't have any. We don't have any of that here. We don't have any of that here on our recording. None of those.
Hey man, you don't know. Jerry Jones could be one of the viewers here. Hey Jerry, if you listen,
you don't want Jerry Jones. You don't want Jerry Jones scouting your player. What do you say?
Right,
that
if Jerry Jones tell Marcus to show up at a Cowboys game, Marcus gonna be decked out in CD gear like this, this.
Hold on, no. Hold on. You gotta be careful, bro. You gotta tell Theo that Jerry likes to measure.
That's what I'm saying. Then they talk about some 8.5.
Hey, let me tell you something.
No,
I'm
not,
Mark. I'm not this guy's agent. I'm not this guy's agent. But I can tell you one thing: we could care less about all that. We're just here to play ball, right? Hey yo.
Okay, good. Good. That's a good way to sell it. I thought he was going somewhere. I said, he about to take us up a level. Okay.
I thought he was gonna do something too. I thought he was gonna pitch his boy in a different way.
Hey, outside of him, my personal opinion, if Jerry Jones wanted to pay me $1 million to measure my dick,
Jesus.
Jesus.
I tried to mute him before he said that. I'm afraid y'all heard him. Oh my goodness. Sorry to the viewers.
That's a good deal.
Hey, somehow if that brings back championships, I don't mind it.
Hey, well, that's crazy. Hey, well, if you don't want your meat measured by Jerry Jones, you should subscribe to the podcast and follow and like the video. Do all that good stuff. Make sure you follow Marcus, X, and Jalen and all of the descriptions. We're gonna have all of their Instagrams and all that stuff. And yeah, anything else that we need to say before we close this successful AWR NFL mock draft out?
Only one thing and one thing only. If the Cowboys find a way to get Ashton Genty, I'm back. And I want to make my position very clear. I will be back to wearing Cowboys colors, Cowboys gears, and I'll be tuning in on Sunday nights.
Hey, pull up to X's crib Thursday, April 24th. We got hoes. We got
all right.
Hey, let me tell you all the story. One time I pulled up to Jalen's crib.
Oh, hey, turn it on.
I tell you this, there weren't any.
Turn it off.
Cut his mic. Someone cut his mic.
Cut his mic.
We'll catch you guys later.
Hey, thank y'all for watching. Peace.